Tristan Cahalane is a young child from Dunmanway who has Dravets syndrome. It's a rare and severe form of epilepsy. Now, medications don't control his seizures for very long, and Tristan's seizures can often last up to an hour. Now, to get the help he needs, his mother Yvonne said to us last year they would travel to America where the medication for Tristan is, as Irish law doesn't allow it to be used or administered in this country. So just before Christmas, Yvonne travelled to the States with Tristan, and they now join me. Good morning, Yvonne.
Morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and thanks for taking time out to chat to us. You're in Colorado at the moment.
We are, yeah.
And the reason you're travelling is obviously enough to get the medication you need for Tristan, and I only mentioned there that it's only available in America. So how are things going at the moment for you guys there?
It's going really well. He's met all his doctors, his neurologists, and they've got a great plan for him. It's tough going at the beginning to get used to everything and all the new setup here, but as far as medically, he's doing really well. It's not fully controlled as yet, but he's not up to his full dose yet, but he's doing great.
But currently the dose he is getting, it's working well with him, and there's no bad side effects or anything, and it's going positive at the moment.
I don't think we even expected to see such positive results so quickly. He began with, we chose Palmetto Harmony, a CBD, a hemp-based product, and he started as low as 0.2 mils twice a day. It's like the size of a grain of rice. And within the first week, he was brighter. He was responding to you. He was trying to imitate our words, coming out with new words, practicing before he was going to sleep, saying all these words. He is more steady now at this stage on his feet. He hadn't been bending his knees to go down on the ground, very baby-like with his stance. So the physio at home, they were trying to get us to keep that in mind when we were doing anything with him at home. And he's doing that on his own now. He's kicking a ball around the sitting room. He's chasing it. He's picking it up. He's throwing it. Much more improved, brighter child.
And that's just fantastic, because to think that if he remained in Ireland, what he's doing now would not have been possible. And just after starting medication, these results really show that when they increase the medication there in Colorado, his life will totally change around, won't it? Because I presume then he'll also be getting less and less of those seizures.
Well, already, he's still getting his seizures every day, but they're lessened. And let's say the morning where he would have a few drop seizures. Now, these are the ones where he'd end up with bloody noses or chipped teeth, and they're split seconds, so they're hard to catch. Whereas if he's in a longer, maybe 5, 10, 20-minute seizure, they're not nice either. But at least you're there to help him, to treat him. But the drop seizures, they're lessened, so he is having less seizures every day. If we were the part of this prescription that we wouldn't have been able to get in Ireland or the UK, where they're now having CBD as well, is the THC or the THCA. Now, we had thought that the THCA would be better for him, as from talking with the doctors before we left Ireland. But now they think that a small dose of THC would be good for him as well. There's also parents that are using it as rescue medication instead of, the diazepams and the midazolam, which cause breathing difficulties. This stops the seizure, and it doesn't have the side effects. That's not what we're getting the prescriptions for. It is to control the seizures, but that's something that we are constantly talking with the government about, because that's something that is not available yet.
And when you meet the consultants then in the hospital, which you are at the moment, and they're administrating all this for you, have they any hope, or can they do anything to ensure that at one stage you'll be able to take Tristan back home to Dunmanway with the medication? Because currently, I presume if you can't do that under Irish law.
Not yet. We're still emailing the ministers and the group emailing with the rest of the TDs, hoping that they will step in and help, especially coming up to an election. we have great doctors who are willing to speak to the ministers, are willing to provide paperwork. Tristan's in a 4-month study at the moment to prove the effects of the cannabis for him. So we'll have that paperwork to come back with as well to go, look, this is how he started and this is how he is now, and it's great, it's worked. Can we come home with it? Can we come home with all? We also have other parents who are providing testimonies of how it's benefited their child. We're going meeting a senator during this month in the hope that they can help as well. They're very, very for the cannabis medicine, and we're hoping that they might be able to provide some kind of help for us as well. There's a lot of help here. They all believe it. We've spoken with, even on a bus, I'll speak to people about it and get their opinion on their laws here, and are they okay with it? Are they happy with it being here? And people like us coming to their state, their country, to get the benefits of it, and they're all very positive. They don't have to work as many hours to get the same or more pay. Their economy is booming. People are getting medically the help they need. They're all very positive about it.
Yeah, because drugs can be misused in so many different ways, but if they are managed properly and regulated properly, it will work and it will benefit. And you can already see, just with the level of medication you've given and they've administered to Tristan there, that he is responding well, which looks good for the future. So if that was in Ireland, it would improve his quality of life and others who could be in his situation in the future as well. So you hope that one of the TDs and one of the senators here in this country will take on board what the consultants there in Colorado will show, because, you know, it does make for a listening prospect if you can see the difference in only after a few weeks, what it could be like after a number of months. Especially, it would be great if you could do and administer that at home in Dunmanway. And by the way, speaking of your life there now in Colorado, you're there nearly a month or less. How are you coping over there? Where are you living?
We're in an apartment. We're in Aurora. So it's quite central. It's there's a bus station quite close by. So if I'm not walking all over the place, I'm getting the buses. I've gotten used to the buses now. So we're very close to the hospital. So that's the main thing. There is good days and bad days. I mean, when you see Tristan doing as well as he is, that perks you up. Some days it can be tough. We FaceTime every day. So we get to chat with Daddy and with Oscar. Oscar took it a little badly at the beginning that Mommy wasn't coming home, and that was heartbreaking. I have to say, absolutely heartbreaking. But we have to do this, and the best thing that we can do is make sure that Oscar is happy and he's okay, and keep telling him that Mommy and Tristan will come on soon. That's the worst part of it all.
Yeah, it is tough to think that you have to go to this level to just get treatment for Tristan, your child, and while a very hard decision it was for you, and not taken lightly that you have to leave your husband and your other son at home, which is something obviously enough, Yvonne, you don't want to do, but then you have to see and develop Tristan as well and see, will this work? And have you financial help and even support over there, because you were away from your family and friends, a big decision to do this. Is there people there looking after you, or do you have family in that part of America?
I have family in Boston, and they're wonderful. They're constantly on the phone with us, or asking, you know, what other help we could need, and they're going to call to visit so that we're not on our own all the time. There are people from support groups that we're joined in that have offered even, you know, sofas, tellies, because you know your apartment comes unfurnished. I have no intention of buying furniture for hopefully what will be a year to be here, hopefully. You know, there's people that are offering every kind of support going. Green Corps are another support group that are here, and they were fantastic. Even when we landed in the hotel, before we found a place, they spoke with them to help and do a discount on the rate, and they did. They were fantastic. But everybody, they are wonderful. There's a lady who is in our group that organised the Colorado flag to be raised in pardon me, I'm going to say it in Denver, but it's at that where the flag is daily, and she had that officially raised for Tristan's birthday and to welcome both of us here to Colorado. So that,
that's great. That really welcomes you to an area. Yeah, fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah.
And also, Yvonne, I mean, you mentioned there you plan to stay for a year. What is the long-term goal? I mean, if things don't change with the law here in Ireland, can you, within that year, come home with Tristan for a week or two? And if things remain, do you intend on moving the family to America?
Well, this is something that the government needs to think about. I am constantly getting messages and emails for how we've done this and how other people can do it. There's people at the moment that are gathering their paperwork, their information to run all the way over here like we did to get the help for their children. The country can't leave because cannabis medicine isn't available in Ireland, to go to America, to go to wherever else for help for their children. The government need to realise this is something that's urgently needed. A year is what we plan to stay here. He'll have his study done, paperwork gathered for that, showing how beneficial it is for him. Hopefully, with everything that we provide, even the doctors that are willing to speak to the government, that they will allow this, even if it was compassionate grounds until they got their own paperwork together for everybody to have availability of it. It doesn't make sense to not do anything, and they need to make contact with us soon as well so that we know where we stand. We will be back within the year, and I hope that we don't have to leave again to find permanent residence somewhere because they can't provide for their people, their country. It's not fair.
Because the medication that Tristan is receiving now in Colorado is something he'll need for life, so it's not something that you can do there for a year and come back. He will still need that medication for his entire life, I presume. He
will, and so will all the mums with their kids that are looking for the exact same thing. It is going to be lifelong, and it's obviously working out to be much better and safer for him. It's just, to come back and be without it is putting him at risk. And, he needs to have this, and we would like to come home.
I know you mentioned you've support, and a lot of people are contacting us about the support, but regarding that, are you alone a lot of the time then with just you and Tristan? I mean, you're not able to, go to different places or anything. It's just you and him out there. You don't have immediate support at the moment.
I suppose if I needed help or something like that, there's when I'm meeting the senator, there's a lady from our group that's that's going to be in middle late January. There's a lady from our support group that is coming. We've met up a few times already, and she's coming to mine, Tristan. That'll be for 3 hours. So I'm comfortable with that, and she's comfortable to be here. So that's a safe step for Tristan. But otherwise, we are together 24/7, and we, if there's a day that we don't have doctors or don't have appointments with clinics or anything like that, then, we'll go for a walk or we'll practice playing and call out our words. But it's 24/7, myself and Tristan, and yeah, that's it so far.
All right, well, you're a remarkable woman, Yvonne, and I know a lot of people listening will be saying the same thing, that you've taken this step to uproot from Dunmanway and travel and mainly relocate to Colorado to benefit your son, Tristan. And hopefully, as we can see already, it's great that he is responding well to the medication so far, and that can only be a positive for the future and only keep him happy, and indeed keep you happy and keep your strength up as well, because, you know, you need that while you're over there on your own. And hopefully, as things are going good, they will continue to go that way. So keep your strength up, Yvonne, and we'll touch base with you again real soon, and give Tristan a hug for us there as well, won't you?
I absolutely will. Thank you very much for all your support.
Thank you, Yvonne, and we'll stay in touch, and we'll catch up with you soon again. That's Yvonne Cahalane there from Dunmanway, but now over in Colorado in the United States of America. And the main reason, as you heard there, because unfortunately of our laws in this particular country of ours in Ireland, Yvonne has to go to America for that medication for Tristan. Our lines are open. 1850 333 1.